the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The Atlanta Braves are on FM 101.9 and AM 1450, Murfreesboro, FM 100.5, Smyrna. I'm Ben Ingram. Your home of the Braves is WGNS.
The Good Neighbor Network, FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and online at WGNSradio.com. This is the Roundtable. A look at the news, views, politics, and people that are shaping Rutherford County.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to your Tuesday morning edition of the Roundtable Show with Rick and Wayne. We come to you every Tuesday morning here at WGNS Studios in Murfreesboro, and we try to be all things north end of the county, but we do branch out from time to time, and got a great guest on with us today, and
we do.
Looking forward to it. But Mr. Wayne, how are you, buddy?
Doing good. I continue to pray for Dr. Sullivan's son, Asher, and just praying for a miracle, and all of our county community neighbors that have been harmed by the recent storms. We just, have gotten kind of a double whammy, Brother Rick.
I feel like we're numb because it happens so often. We're obviously in that alley that we get these storms consistently, right. And I feel like people are getting, and just with Dr. Sullivan's son right now, it's just I can't imagine. Yeah. I've got an aging dog that and if it was my daughter, I just can't imagine what facing that.
I am so proud of our county community, the way we have wrapped our arms around this family that have been through so much, and this kind of love and compassion. We just sometimes we don't expect, but when we see it occur, it's kind of like you take a side that there are people that still care and still are concerned. But I pray that we continue to pray for Asher and that family, because I'm like you, I can't imagine going through something like this.
I know. And I mean, you got your MTSU blue on, and I'm wearing my Tennessee. We were talking off the air, and Tennessee baseball played Vandy over the weekend in a 3-game series, and Dr. Sullivan's older son was able to go, and Tim Corbin reached out and had him sitting in the dugout.
Yeah, and, what a class act.
He's an amazing man. Yeah. Sure is.
My son Zach commented on Facebook that he loves his Vols, but he just bragged on Coach Corbin. Like I said, what a class act he is. So we got a lot to be grateful for, but have a lot to pray for as well.
Yes, sir. We sure do.
But we've got a great show this morning, Brother Rick. We have Ms. Chelsea Kindred, who's the unit director of the Boys and Girls Club in Smyrna. Of course, with you and I being Smyrna Rotarians, we certainly have played a part in the club. Of course, it's more financially motivated, and but of course, Beth Bragg Hackett is in the club too. So we're grateful to be involved in such a successful program, taking care of our, especially our northern Rutherford County children. So good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's our pleasure. As we talked before the show, let the audience know a little bit about you.
Yeah, so I want to start by saying that we are also keeping the Sullivan family in our prayers during this time. But just a little bit about me. My name is Chelsea Kindred. I am from Smyrna, so I've been able to be raised in the city of Smyrna. My whole family and my in-laws are also in Smyrna, so just blessed to be around my family. I have a son, Ace, and a daughter on the way.
Congrats.
Thank you. Ready for her to be here. An awesome, an awesome husband, and just like I said, my whole family surrounding Smyrna, so just a really big support system surrounding. I went to MTSU for my undergrad, got my bachelor's there, and then I also have my master's in business administration with a focus in nonprofit management from Trevecca. So that helps me on my day-to-day at the club.
Sure.
Yeah. And then that is kind of like the main things. But biggestly, I have been involved in Boys and Girls Club for 8.5 years. I started at the Smyrna location in 2015 as a staff and never left.
Wow.
Stay there.
Yeah.
Brothers and sisters locally?
Yeah, so my brother's actually in the Army. So
God
grateful
bless
for
him
him.
for
Yes,
serving.
he is stationed in New York with his wife and my niece and my nephew. And then I also have a brother who lives here in Smyrna locally, and then a brother-in-law.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as far as growing up, sports, other interest?
Yeah, so school was always my thing. Always education was my first, most important. I was always good at school. My siblings were not. So my mom put a lot of emphasis on me with education. However, also played softball growing up here and
Okay.
there, but mostly school and education was. And if someone pays for my PhD, I'll go back.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, I understand that.
Yeah, I'm not paying for it, but if someone wants to, I'll go.
Well, when the comment about your siblings, not so much
Yeah.
in the education, we'll see what kind of comments if they watch this podcast.
I probably have a text already.
So talk about, if you want to, your day-to-day activities there at the club.
Yeah, so kind of just background. I've actually been involved with 3 different Boys and Girls Club organizations. So, like I said, started as a staff with Boys and Girls Club of Rutherford County, was able to kind of get my footing and realize that that was what I wanted for my future. And then when I graduated from MTSU, I was offered a position with Boys and Girls Clubs of Chattanooga. So I actually picked up and moved and started a club there and really kind of got my feet wet, realizing what it was like to be in leadership. And then COVID hit, the world was on fire, and so I decided to come back home and just prayed for that chance to come back. I was offered an opportunity with Boys and Girls Club in Middle Tennessee, where I was able to work directly in the Franklin location. And then when my great leader, Miss Brittany, got a promotion, I was able to come back with kind of my home clubs and kind of come back home. So that has been kind of my journey. But my day-to-day, every day is different. No day in the club is the same.
bet.
But really in the mornings, it's just making sure, getting the admin things ready, getting the club prepared, making sure the club is safe and ready for the kids. And then as soon as the kids get there, it's just game on. That's when the craziness starts. So getting the kids in, introducing them, making sure they see a smiling face when they come in the club, making sure they get their snack, making sure they're prepared, if they need help with homework, whatever the case is, and just also making sure we're meeting with our staff every day. That's something we prioritize, to make sure that our staff are prepared to lead, because these are the future leaders in our community. So we're making sure that the staff are really preparing them to in the day-to-day and seeing how big that impact is.
How many children do you normally serve a day?
So we currently have about 300 enrolled for our 2024 school year.
Wow.
However, we have about an average of like 175 to 200 on the day-to-day.
Good God, that's a bunch. I didn't realize it was that big. I know usually North Rutherford, Smyrna locations were like one of the larger ones,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, so we have one of the largest locations, and we are looking to actually have more kids next school year. So we're looking to kind of hopefully get back to our pre-COVID numbers and have a full club. That's our goal, and that's what we're working towards. I'm super excited.
So you have a pretty diverse child population there at the club. I guess there's children that have social economic issues,
Yeah.
and children that may not so much. Probably have some children that have food insecurity, and so you probably have just a broad range of children with just different needs.
Yeah, the needs are huge within our club, and we work really hard to make sure that we're hitting all the specific needs. And that's one of the things that I love about our club, specifically with Boys and Girls Club of Rutherford County, is that we provide snack and dinner to our kids every day. And that's such a blessing to know that they all have that opportunity, no matter what their situation is, to be able to know that they're going home full and just being able to meet those specific needs. But we do have a huge diversity of kids within the clubs.
So somebody first time listening to this and maybe have heard of the Girls and Boys Club but don't understand exactly what they do. So it's kind of an after school program, right?
Yeah.
and there's transportation that y'all can provide to get them to the center. They're in Murfreesboro or Smyrna or wherever it might be. Maybe go into that a little bit, and is there a cost involved? For the students? Is it monthly or weekly, or how does that taken care of?
Yeah, so our after school program and our summer program are different just as far as like costs and details, but as far as after school, we do have buses which go and pick up from schools. At Smyrna, we serve 13 schools. We have 3 buses who go on our routes. I actually can drive the bus also myself. I'm just the last
Got that
resort.
endorsement.
Yes. But we go and we get the schools, and then we also have 2 walking schools. So we walk to Thurman Francis and Smyrna Primary, since we're kind of in the heart of that Todd Lane area. And so we go and pick up all the schools and we bring them. And then in the summer, we don't provide that transportation of picking them up, but we do create a safe place for 11 hours a day, Monday through Friday in the summer.
11 hours.
7 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Bless your heart.
I love summer. It's my favorite.
That is way cool.
Get to be a kid all
It's
day.
so much fun. You go on field trips and you have water days and dance parties. It's so much fun.
Oh, wow.
I used to help with I used to be a police officer in Smyrna, and we had a week of fire and police camp, and I know we'd have 50 to 60 young kids in there, and when water day came, I think we as the adults were more excited than what the kids were. I mean, it got pretty serious when you going and buying swim goggles for water day. It's gotten pretty serious. So.
It is serious business on water day in the summer.
Well, I think that's wow. What a great initiative in feeding the children, but equally the tutoring part I would think would be so very important because so many children lack those reading skills from time to time, and there's just so much time in the day for teachers to, while they're at school, to help them with the different subjects. So to have that added on top, with the study halls, I guess you would have. So that's pretty cool.
Well, we're so grateful for Smyrna Rotary and the contributions that you all make, and that it's able to let us have Miss Karen. She is such a blessing to our program, and she's our reading specialist. And so at the beginning of each new cohort, she'll get interest of parents who are interested in their kids being a part of our reading program, and then she tests them individually to see what their specific needs are, and then she meets with them for the whole school year. So right now she's working on her final testing to be able to provide to the parents to say, hey, this is where they started and this is where they ended.
Wow.
And this is what they still need. So if they're here in the summer, here's how I can continue that impact.
That's pretty cool.
That is really.
Yeah.
Do y'all partner with the schools any? So I know, like, we've had the Atlas program on here, which is for the homeless students, and I think we're up to about 1,500 homeless kids that are going to school every day.
Yeah.
Do you partner with them as well, or the school system that make aware that where this is an avenue for some of those kids, maybe for that after school program? Because I know it comes down to meals and taking care of them.
Yep. So we do partner with Atlas. We actually have one of the Rutherford County Atlas employees. She has her office in our building. So I'm able to communicate with her directly when there's specific needs. And we bring Atlas kids in immediately who have that need when it's been expressed to us. And we will help walk them through getting in the club and being able to come. And also, they bypassed wait lists and letting them come into our club so that we know that they have another safe place.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. One of the other needs, and I think the Past President's Initiative with the Smyrna Rotary Club is to assist Atlas with some of the backpack programs to send food home over the weekends. Do you play a part in that at all?
So we don't play a part in that specifically. However, we have been able to partner with the church that rents our building, and they have done food bags for our families that are in the club before. And that's definitely a partnership that we're continuing, because we want to continue that for our families, for those who need it specifically.
So in your summer program, maybe talk about that, because here we are at, I'm not sure, is May 23rd the last day of school?
So May 22nd is our last day of our program. Then we close for preparation. So that's when we deep clean the club, summer prep, buy supplies, just get the club ready. We also train our staff to make sure that they're prepared for the summer. So that's our last day, and then we start our summer June 3rd. So I know previously you had asked about cost and things of that nature. So like Atlas families and other families who have specific needs and specific programs in Rutherford County, they do not have a weekly cost. However, our general weekly cost is $90. That's for the first sibling, but we do offer a sibling discount that's weekly. So we do, just depending on the number of siblings, offer that sibling discount, but we also offer financial assistance. So that's a conversation that I have a lot with parents is, okay, go ahead and do that application, send me your information, and we'll see what we can do. And then I go through their information and see how can we assist them within our program. So always open to options for our families.
Employee-wise, with the summer programs, are y'all fully staffed, or is it something if somebody's kid or teenager is looking for something to do and they want to play water day, are y'all hiring, or how's that work?
I don't feel like we're ever fully staffed. Just the
so 53-year-olds got a chance at
That's fine.
water day.
Go ahead and apply. So I actually have had a great influx of staffing coming in, and the staff that I have now are so great. And so we are still hiring though to make sure that we're fully staffed to be able to meet the kids' needs and be able to have the most successful summer. So we are still hiring. I know at our Smyrna location, also our Laverne location, and I could safely assume our Murfreesboro location also.
Right. You talked about Laverne. I don't think anybody might know that. It was news to us. But tell us about what's going on in Laverne.
Yeah, so we are running a pilot site in Laverne this summer at Laverne Community Church, which is off of Old Nashville Highway. It's actually only 10 minutes from the Smyrna Club, so it's just a straight shot from the Smyrna Club. And we are going to offer that pilot program for 6 weeks, so June 10th through July 19th. From 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So the hours and operation dates will be different, but the cost is also different. It's $65 a week versus $90 a week, and they also will offer financial assistance. And we have been super excited just to get our feet in Laverne and be able to serve that community also.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And where is that again?
It is at Laverne Community Church. It's off of Old Nashville Highway.
So in that 11-hour day in summer, so are you feeding them 3 meals?
Yeah. So we actually partner with Rutherford County. They come in and provide the staffing to help provide meals for our kids. And
their summer feeding
feeding program. And
okay.
it's such a blessing. They come in and it's always just the nicest, greatest staff. And they come in and they feed our kids breakfast, lunch, and then we provide a snack. So they're still getting 3 meals a day within the summer.
You know, I can't imagine not feeling good about being able to feed children. I mean, just talk about, helping them learn to read and in their studies, you know, that's a huge deal, no doubt.
Yeah.
But a child with food insecurity that is hungry, there's just no way that's going to be a conducive learning experience not to have a full stomach.
No, they're hungry and they're unfocused. And so it's helpful to the kids first and foremost, but also to the families. And I think that that's one of my favorite parts about it is knowing that we get to support the parents too. And it can just be a quiet support. It doesn't have to be said and it doesn't have to be talked about, but you know that there are families that you're really impacting on the day-to-day by helping them provide that. And it's just such a blessing that we're able to do that. Yeah.
During the day, what things could they anticipate? Because I know this is my experience of going. I've spoke there a few times, and it's not just playing. It's not just water day. There's so many different programs. So I know we're getting close to our first break, but maybe we break that down a little bit as far as what programs y'all do offer. And like your first camp, let's say in Laverne, it's a 6-week thing. Is that going to encompass everything? And I know y'all do field trips, and what's some of the stuff they can look forward to?
Yeah, so I will still be running our Smyrna location, and our program director at our Smyrna location will be running our Laverne location. So I know that he is active in his planning stage of making sure that it's going to be the most successful summer. But as far as Smyrna goes, we will be doing field trips weekly as we've done in the past. So they will go to the splash pad, the pool, skating, bowling, swimming, all different types of things. Also, our older kids will go to Nashville Shores. They'll actually get to also go to Main Event this year since it's new and open. They're super excited about that. And so they'll get to go just to all different types of field trips, and those will be out of club experiences, but we're also doing a lot of in-club experiences. So the water days, we're doing a talent show, we're going to do an art and STEM showcase this year again. We did it last year, and it was such a success because our kids were able to show the things that they learned throughout the summer and then display it to everyone. We'll also do a college and career fair, which I'm super excited about, to get local colleges and employers to come in and just speak to our kids, to let them see what their opportunities are for their future, and so they know what their options are, because there's some things they've never thought about, and so things like that. And then on the day-to-day, they'll be able to rotate throughout our club and just really get to engage everywhere. So between our new playground, the iPads that we have, they'll be able to do coding and play games on there. They'll be able to play in our games room, whether it's playing air hockey, pool table, foosball, all of the games. We keep all the classic games in there. We also have an arcade in our club, so they'll be able to play in the arcade, play games in the gym, and just really rotating, doing art projects, doing STEM projects. We actually partner with First Shot Basketball Camp. They provide them. They're so great. They provide our STEM program in the club, and so they have 3D printers, they do coding, and they really emphasize that STEM with the kids too. And so we'll just be able to really just let the kids see a little bit of everything this summer and see what they're most interested in and let them really flourish on that.
I didn't realize how, with the coding and the 3D printers, and how popular that is of a thing now.
Yes.
And I've got some nephews, and that's all they ever talk about is their 3D printer and coding and making parts, and they make files. They share them online. I mean, it's an amazing process. So y'all, is it something that's brought in, or y'all have all that presently out there at the centers for?
So we have all of those things at the centers right now, and it's just really so we can emphasize what the kids are learning at the school. We want to make sure that we are emphasizing academic success, but also having fun. We want the kids to really be learning and engaging without even really realizing that they're learning sometimes, and that's what things like the 3D printers do for them, and just all of the engagement within the club. We're super excited.
Yeah, I might have to have one of those in my future.
You can come use ours.
Well, the library's got them too, so that's my outlook there. Is I'm going to try it there before I spend the money on one.
There you go.
So you listen to, what would be your title? I might have missed it at the beginning of the show. Are you the director? Or
Yep, unit director.
Unit director. So you listen to Chelsea Kendrick with the Girls and Boys Club of Smyrna. And we're going to take our first break, and we'll be right back with you in just a minute.
Finding that missing shin guard, remembering whether it's a home or away game, getting the right kid to the right playing field on the right day. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple, so you can worry about more important things, like not being that fan.
Oh, come on, ref!
That's simple human sense.
Rayburn Insurance in Smyrna.
Come see me, Rick Hall, at Rayburn Insurance in downtown Smyrna today.
Hi, this is Chip Walters with Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates. You might know me as the voice of the Blue Raiders, but I want to be your trusted advisor in real estate. Whether you're buying or selling, it's time to choose Chip. Do you have a growing family and need to upsize? Are you an empty nester now and need to downsize? Are you thinking of selling your current home but just worried you can't find something else? Well, it's time to choose Chip. I'm looking to be your trusted advisor in real estate. I'm Chip Walters with Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates.
You don't have hot dogs or apple pie or no Chevrolet to drive, but we have some hickory smoked wings you're just dying to try. You'll try them, you'll like them, you'll give some to a friend. So on a dare, just stop on by and bring in a friend. Slick Pig Barbecue, 1920 East Main.
This is Good Neighbor Events with Bart Walker. Brought to you by AmeriCare Pest Control and the law offices of John Day.
This is a paid legal ad.
When a family member is lost as a result of someone else's negligence, the grief can be unbearable. It also leaves you with a lot of questions like, how did this happen? Who's responsible? And is my family going to be okay? That's a lot to go through, but with the law offices of John Day on your side, you don't have to go through any of it alone. We understand what you're going through, and we have the experience to get the answers, justice, and compensation your family deserves. Call the law offices of John Day.
WGNS encourages you to shop local. That improves our local economy. Just around the corner, Saturday morning, June 1st, the Rutherford County Master Gardeners will be at the Line Ball Library. That's 9 until 10 Saturday morning, June the 1st. And it is free. They'll have some great information about gardening. That's Saturday morning, June 1st, 9 until 10 at the Line Ball Library. And speaking of Saturday and gardening, Main Street Saturday Marketplace is on the Murfreesboro Square this Saturday from 8 until noon, all around the historic Rutherford County Courthouse. Also on Saturday, the Smyrna Depot Farmers Market at the Smyrna train station. They're on Front Street. That too is from 8 until noon Saturday morning. And continuing this weekend, Rock of Ages at the Center for the Arts in Uptown Murfreesboro. Also Saturday night at 7:30, The Stairway to Zeppelin, the concert series, over at the Art Center of Cannon County in neighboring Woodbury. WGNS reminds you that Spring Fling is coming up next week. Those are WGNS Good Neighbor events.
Rutherford weather.
Periods of showers and thunderstorms here this afternoon. A cloudy skies, a high in the upper 70s. Tonight, chance for showers and storms, cloudy and a low near 59. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Fleetcheatsky on News Radio WGNS.
Currently, it's 66. WGNS is powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. United Communications, MTE's internet company, continues to grow. United announced plans in August for an $85 million expansion to another 77,000 MTE members in Murfreesboro. Find out more at mte.com/internet.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and worldwide at WGNSradio.com.
And good morning and welcome back to the second segment of Tuesday Mornings with Rick and Wayne. And it's our pleasure this morning to have Chelsea Kindred, who is the unit director for the Boys and Girls Club here in Smyrna. And we've enjoyed talking about the services. Talk about the age group that you serve.
Yeah. So we accept all ages that are in school. So when we go into our school year program, we accept kindergartners through seniors. And then going into our summer, we accept those who have completed kindergarten, then to rising seniors.
That's what I was curious
Yeah, so
about.
in the summer, we don't accept if they have not completed kindergarten.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. Off air, we were talking about some of the celebrities that have been Boys and Girls Club members, like Denzel Washington. Brian just mentioned Derek Mason was a member, and that he is bringing a number of his football players to the Murfreesboro unit, but we need to get them to Smyrna too.
Yeah, they have been able to go to Murfreesboro and make such an impact, and you can actually check out our Facebook page to see some of those pictures of them with the kids. But it would be awesome to just continue, and some of their football players have actually been applying for summer jobs. So that's super awesome for us. Yeah,
Wow.
For sure.
So Coach Mason, if you're listening, reach out
to Miss Chelsea
at Smyrna. Come see her.
Yeah.
She'd love to have you down there.
We'll have to make a phone call, Rick, won't we?
We will. I think we know somebody. So break down, we talked about the programs. Let's try to break down, because that's what's good about having a 45-minute show. We can actually go in depth a little bit, and that way parents, I know some parents are leery about sending their kids to programs and want to make sure what they're doing. But let's break down the programs. And I know there's kind of three categories that's in there with academic success and healthy lifestyles and character and leadership. But academic success, because y'all have in-house tutors, and I guess that's more for the school time of the year. But and I'm sure during the summer I'm assuming there'll be some kind of book program that'll be a part of that. But break down the academic success. What's in that, and what can a parent think that their child's going to be doing with that?
Yeah, so they're going to be safe and they're going to have a lot of fun. But to break it down, academic success, like I had talked about our reading program previously, we do continue that in the summer. So while we accept new kids, Miss Karen will also accept kids that we had for this previous school year to continue that enrichment for them. excuse me. And aside from that, we also do, like I was talking about, STEM and tech and art, and just really emphasizing that academic side of it. And we also celebrate their academics that they had through the school year, just to make sure that they know that we're paying attention to the things that they're doing and celebrating them. And so we'll really make academics fun, as far as, like I said, doing the 3D printers, being able to do coding, being able to go and do art contest and then showcase it, and then also being able to do the things like the talent show and just making sure that they're having fun, including in that academic success, and also doing things like reading. That is something that we want to emphasize during the club, whether it's people coming in to read to the kids, and everyone's welcome to come do that, or us reading to the kids, or having the kids read to us, whatever the case is. Sometimes we'll have our older kids read to our younger kids, so our teens will come and read to our peewees, just because the peewees think it's so cool to spend some time with them. So yeah, that's really the biggest on academic success. And we do have tutors who come and volunteer throughout the school year, and it's such an awesome opportunity for us, because kids who really need that one-on-one, but their parents don't have the opportunity to get them a tutor, they have that opportunity at the club. And as far as healthy lifestyles, that also goes back into the feeding program that we were talking about, to make sure that we're feeding our kids healthy meals. And we're required to serve them a certain amount of components, certain things. We can't just feed them anything that we want.
That's right. Sure.
And so be able to feed them those healthy meals and make sure that that's a huge part of it, but also the sports and rec side of things. So going outside and playing on the playground, running in the gym, doing our fitness assessments, and all of the programs that we run to really ensure that our kids are active. And sometimes they're active all day without even realizing it.
That's exactly.
Yeah, and then at the end of the day, they're like, I'm tired. I'm like, I bet you are. You've been running all day. Yeah.
Especially if they've been there for 11 hours.
Yeah, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Can you imagine the adults that's looking after them, Rick?
Well, I just remember my daughter doing camps, and if you're 5 minutes away from there and you look back and they're already out, hey, tell me about your day. Well, we did this, and then all of a sudden it's speechless. They're gone.
Yeah,
so,
once 5:30 hits, they all start to get a little quiet. I'm like, are y'all good? They're like, yeah. I'm like, no, you're tired.
No, you're ready to get in the back seat and go.
Tired.
That's right.
And then as far as our character and leadership, we just want to make sure that we are empowering our youth, and our mission is to serve those who need us most. And we want to place that emphasis on our kids and just make sure that we are teaching them good character and leadership. So whether that be talking to them in the games room when they're playing a game, to show them, hey, if you don't win, this is how you handled this situation, or when you are upset with someone, just really having that one-on-one interactions with the kids, the mentorship in our club between the kids and the staff, and also doing community service. That's something that we have really liked to engage our juniors and teens in specifically, but also our kids. We did a club cleanup day a couple weeks ago, where any kid of the whole club wanted to, we gave them gloves, and we walked around the club and we picked up trash surrounding the club, and just making sure that we're keeping clean. And so just teaching them the importance of good character and leadership within themselves and within their community.
I would think you would have, from time to time, a child that just have had a tough day at home, getting up that morning, maybe there was a family conflict the night over, the night before, and then the morning the conflict is still ongoing, and then you get the child in your unit, fresh out of this conflict. So I suspect you have to have some psychology involved with this as well, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's all about getting to know the kids and being intentional with your relationships with them, and making sure that your staff are being intentional too. Boys and Girls Club is not a place that you come to work just because it's a job. It's a place that you come to work because you have a genuine care for the kids in your community. And so it's really just, like I said, about being intentional with the kids, getting to know them. And it's like I tell the kids, sometimes I have a bad day. And so it's really just figuring out what each kid needs and working with the staff to make sure that we're providing those needs, to make sure that they feel safe, because that is our number one priority.
Remember that when this second child gets here and you have two in diapers rather than just one. Rick, I had one of those senior moments. I had a question I wanted to ask, and I can't remember it.
Well, I want to kind of go back. Part of how you guys are funded is through fundraisers. I know, like I said, we partner through Rotary with you guys, and we just I think the playground, that was last summer?
Yeah.
Has it been... I figured it's almost a year now since we did that program going out there.
Yeah. So The original part was done about a year and a half ago. For the
Yep.
first part, we did it in 2 parts.
That's right.
And that was when volunteers came out and helped, and parents and volunteers and staff came and did the first part. And then we finalized the playground around this time last year.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then you run some fundraisers. I guess that's where I'm headed with this, and y'all going to have an event coming up here pretty soon.
we
So talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so we will be having Steak and Burger this upcoming summer. Super, super excited about it. Jeff Foxworthy will be our speaker. Michelle is the one who organizes that. She is so, so great. And we're just really looking forward to being able to, because these fundraisers not only provide fun and engagement for the community, but it provides that stability that we need for our youth to make sure that they have what they need.
I haven't been to all of them, but I've been to several over the years. But I'm always impressed because you allow some of the older children or your unit students to talk, and I mean, and they're in front of a huge crowd of strangers, and they do so well.
Yeah. So this past year, we actually had a Smyrna Club kid speak. His name is Michael, and he is graduating from Stewart's Creek on Sunday. And so I have been walking through with him scholarships, getting prepared for college. He's actually going to MTSU, and he's like, Miss Chelsea. Yes, great choice. But we're working on scholarships, and he's like, Miss Chelsea, I don't know. I'm like, come on, let's do it. And so really, it's just great to see him go from speaking at an engagement, which is just a great professional opportunity to be able to just grow as a teen coming into a young adult, and then to now be helping him get prepared for college.
So are you a professional with FAFSA?
Yeah, I mean, I went to school for 6 years, so I know a thing or two.
That is the worst form ever invented by the government. It's horrible.
I had to call my mom every year, because you have to do your parents'
tax
information
records.
too.
Yeah.
So I had to, and my mom would be like, "Seriously again?" I'm like, "I gotta go to school.
Yeah.
Gotta help me."
Yeah, my children had to do it. I was incapable of figuring that thing out.
Yeah.
So Zach and Hillary both had to do their own. I gave them the info, but you got to take care of it.
Well, and I know Lion Ball Library offers a program for that. The seniors to be able to go through. They've got the computers there and people to kind of walk them through and help it. Because, like you said, that's a huge process for a senior these days. Well, it's guidance counselors through school and everything else help as well. But a lot of times through the school day, if it takes a little prodding and the kids get out and say, "Look, I forgot to do this." I know I've got a good friend of mine's son right now that's kind of falling by the 8 ball, and right now is a little bit too late, but they're doing what they can with what ability and trying to find people that know what it is. So he's decided he wants to go to college now, and he graduates on Friday. So
that's awesome.
It's tough.
Yeah.
I guess how many like employees wise, because I want people to be able to visualize and see, and I've been there and speak. How many employees do you operate with?
So it depends on how many kids we have. So our ratio is 1 staff to 20 children. So it really depends on the number that we're anticipating. So for this summer, I'll have roughly 18 staff total-ish. I don't have it in front of me.
It's a big crowd, yeah.
Yeah, it is a big crowd, but it makes sure that we're safe and we're successful. And so that's the biggest part. And as, a unit director, that's my main responsibility, is to make sure that the club is prepared.
It does get a little loud inside from time to time.
That's part of it.
I guess inside voices is not a prerequisite when, especially during the off time, because they have to be so quiet at school. I guess.
Yeah, they do have to be quiet and attentive at school all day, and so you can tell as soon as they get on our bus, they're like, "Okay, let's go." Attention span gone.
Well, you're pretty sharp, so I'm going to talk about the Jeff Foxworthy and the date of it, and I've got it pulled up here in case you know exactly, but it looks like it's July 16th.
Yes.
Is there tickets still available that somebody may be able to go online and purchase tickets?
To my knowledge, yes. I do think that we are still offering tickets.
I think they do it by table.
Yep, so we do offer tables. Michelle Clifford is the best person. She runs that event. Like I said, she does such an amazing job. She's the best person, and all of her information is on our website for anyone interested.
I didn't see Gronk, but Jay Leno was amazing.
Yeah.
He just went one-liner after one-liner, and just nothing off color, nothing inappropriate. Just just very enjoyable, and just had a great time and laughed a lot.
Yeah, it's a great night. It's fun.
Jeff Foxworthy should be perfect for this area. You might be a redneck.
I'm ready to go that one. I tell you, my favorite joke with him is where he took his wife hunting and she wore a yellow jogging suit and brought her purse. I think that whole little joke thing he goes, so we're going to have to get tickets, Wayne. And,
yeah. I'll see you there.
The one of my favorite parts that he does is the one using Southern words like mayonnaise and stuff like that.
Mayonnaise.
I think he's a genius as far as comedy, but the Blue Collar Comedy Tour was always one of my favorites too.
So you have to come.
So want to come, planning on coming. So.
So if somebody wants to get in contact, either a volunteer or want a career or summer job for their kids or anything, like you said, y'all hiring, how do they find you, or who's some contact people that they can get in touch with?
Yeah, so all of our information is on our website, so that's the best place you can apply on our website, and you can also find everybody's contact information on our website, or you can call a club and we can direct you as far as volunteering. We have a volunteer coordinator, Miss Elaine, and as far as it'll show you the directors for each club. So I feel like our website is really the best place to kind of navigate, just because we do have multiple locations to see who you can get in contact with.
Got it.
Yeah.
Listen to the program director of the Girls and Boys Club of Smyrna, Chelsea Kendrick.
Yep, Kendrick.
Right? Got it. We're going to take our second break and we'll be right back with you.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month, but you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio.
Sponsored by Age of Learning.
Renewable natural gas is an incredible resource with the ability to power your home and lifestyle. At Middle Point, we've broken ground on a state-of-the-art facility that will capture natural gas on-site and repurpose it into sustainable pipeline-quality gas. Once operational, this facility will produce enough energy to heat more than 80,000 homes per year. Learn more about this at middlepointlandfill.com. For public services, we are sustainability in action.
This is Kim Dunaway from Sunshine Nutrition Center. You hear me on Monday mornings at 7:20 talking about how to lead a healthier lifestyle. We carry supplements, personal care, and grocery items at both our Murfreesboro and Smyrna locations, family owned and operated since 1989.
Bud's Tire has been helping Rutherford County with tires, oil changes, brakes, and more since 1987. This is Kay Mitchell, and even though we opened Bud's Tire in 1987, Bud started changing tires with his father next to the old hardware store in the 1950s. Just as it was true in the 50s, it is still true today. At Bud's Tire, you will always get friendly customer service. Visit Bud's Tire on the Old Woodbury Highway or call us at 896-TIRE. That's 896-8473.
Del Walmsley and the Wealth Cycle. This is the wealth cycle that I've taught for 30 years. Buy one house, 10 houses, an apartment, 2 apartments, 8, 20, 500 units, 1,000 units, 2,000, 5,000 units. And as you keep putting the money and the profits back in, you become one of those rich people, and much quicker than you'd even believe.
Learn Dell's Wealth Cycle at GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. Use promo code 2023. Save 60%. Code 2023. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and worldwide at WGNSradio.com.
And welcome back to the third and final segment of Tuesday Mornings with Rick and Wayne. And this morning, Chelsea Kindred, the unit director of the Boys and Girls Club in Smyrna, is here with us, sharing what you do, which is pretty impressive.
Thanks.
Anytime you're taking care of our community's children, that's not only admirable, but it's Lord's work as far as I'm concerned.
It is. Yeah, I'm super grateful for the opportunity, and to start as a staff, I never imagined when in 2015 that I would be where I was. I thought, to be honest, my stepsister worked at the Boys and Girls Club, and she was like, hey, do you want a job? And I was like, yeah, I don't want to work as Sonic anymore. So here I come. And
I like Sonic.
And so, and then I could never leave. And it is really a family environment. And
Sure.
it also helps when you have great leaders. That makes it a lot easier to do the day-to-day, and also great staff. And the team that I have is so amazing. And so I'm just super grateful for the opportunity.
The Laverne unit, of course, it's a pilot program, so you're trying to get a footprint there in Laverne, because, in Rick and my time here in Smyrna, just the way Smyrna and Murfreesboro and Laverne has grown is just
crazy.
Just crazy. And were you involved in the as far as the Smyrna location during its pre-conceptual days, trying to raise money for it, design it? So this Laverne opportunity just going to be a team effort, just all hands on deck, I suspect.
Yeah, it has been a team effort just to make sure that we can really get it up and running, and our team has done such a great job, and we're just really excited to see it come into fruition. But our COO, Kelly Davis, actually was there for kind of the footprinting of Smyrna, so I love to hear her stories about before it was there and how it started.
Fundraising, and of course the cost of construction right now is almost unimaginable. To how much when Rick was on the commission and I was with the school board, and we built Rockville High School for I think $173 million. Rick, is that the number? And now that same high school now is closing in on $300 million. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
So, to build a facility in Laverne at some point in time is going to be very costly, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, thankfully we get to have the partnership with Laverne Community to be able to use their building and still serve the community. Yeah.
And you said how many children in the Laverne facility to start out in the pilot program?
So we're going to start with 100. That'll get our footing and get us ready to see how it goes. But registrations are still open. There are spots available, and registration is done on our website, bgcrc.net.
As far as the church facility there, playground, I know they probably would not have the amenities that you presently have in the Smyrna unit, but I presume they have quite a few of the recreational amenities that you'll need for your children.
Yeah, so they have a lot of outside space, which gives us a lot of opportunity for creativity, and we will operate it very similar to how school sites run. So Boys and Girls Club school sites have a lot of fold-up games, a lot of storage totes, a lot of rolly carts, things where you can kind of move in and out, and so we'll really utilize that this summer to make sure that the kids have the same things, but we can also be respectful of the space of the church.
Great.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think a lot of people may be listening. They don't be our age where we've got grandkids now. Not so much our kids are grown, but I know still this day my Kroger's reward card, it benefits the Girls and Boys Club because you can donate those rewards points when you buy groceries. So that not that I'm the guy that buys most of the groceries for our household, but when I do, it's on my keychain, and I'm pretty sure it's still set up that way. But I remember being there and speaking one day, and somebody brought it up about it, and I went on
I did not realize that.
You can go to Krogers.com and you bring up your rewards card, and then you can pick a nonprofit you'd like to see that money go towards, so you can put the Girls and Boys Club of Rutherford County, and
Wow.
so
did
those
not know
rewards
that.
points, you'll still get your gas, at a cheaper amount, but the other points that you would
Yeah.
end up inflation, you'll go towards the school programs.
Okay. I'm glad you brought that up. I
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
not
Trying to
realize
help.
that, Rick.
Yeah, well, I think I remember, and you probably, I don't know if it's a topic you worry about is how you guys are funded, but I think you can, there's a in-kind type donation you can make, and then
Yeah.
if you've got rollovers and retirement accounts or something else like that, if you want to make a portion of it, there'll be a donate to it. It's a pre-tax type thing that
Yeah.
you'll be able to get to. So there's so many ways they've got a good, I don't know who started the Girls and Boys. It's been around 35 years, but it sounds like they've had some smart people get that thing up and running for what it is now. And people like you now just keeping it going and serving so many kids. And I just know the impact that my daughter coming through at Thurman Francis, y'all at that time, due to size, y'all kept the kids there at Thurman Francis. They were in the cafeteria.
Yeah.
And man, it was a tight ship, man. They sat down, and if they had homework, they had to knock out the homework for the fun stuff started. And and like you said, there's about 4 people there, so they were there as tutors to help with the kids to get through, and us as parents at the time, we appreciated it, because a lot of that stuff I just can't do. Algebra is it's gone. I mean, Chelsea knows. She's just graduated, what, 2015, I think you said. So this is my 35th year I've been out of Smyrna High School, and we won't talk about Wayne, how long he's been
Oh,
gone.
goodness. Please don't.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you that when I was in elementary school, Laverne did not have a traffic light.
Wow.
I've told this story before, but the sheriff's department, and this was pre-I-24.
Yeah.
Because it stopped in Manchester and then picked back up to Old Hickory Boulevard.
Oh, wow.
And the sheriff's department would have a vehicle with the lights running there at Stones River, and 2 8th grade boys would have these 10-foot cane poles with a red flag to stop traffic, along with, and that's how the buses and school traffic got across
Things
US
have
41.
changed.
Just a tad.
A little bit, yeah.
Can you imagine putting a kid on traffic control these days?
No.
Oh goodness, really?
Yeah.
I'm just amazed at what y'all are able to do with the community's children. Boys and Girls Club. Of course, I've known their name forever, but I don't know when they started or where they started or how they started, to be honest.
Yeah, so I may be speaking on the year wrong, but I believe it was somewhere around the early 1900s is when the first club opened, but it actually originated as the Boys Club. It was not the Boys and Girls Club.
Right.
And now there are over 5,000 Boys and Girls Clubs locations
Wow.
throughout the United States and U.S. territories. And so just to know that, we focus on our clubs specifically in our community, but to know all of the clubs that are impacting, and it's really cool to be able to go and visit other clubs and talk to other leadership at other clubs and see what they're doing, and even just communicating with the clubs and other clubs in Tennessee is super great.
Do you ever, the Murfreesboro unit and the Smyrna unit, do they ever do anything together as far as the children get to play or interact?
Yeah, so we're all under Boys and Girls Club Rutherford County, and so for our previous breaks, like spring break, Christmas break, Thanksgiving break, we actually combined clubs. So either Murfreesboro kids would come to Smyrna, or Smyrna kids would come to Murfreesboro, and we combined and let them have kind of a one all-together experience.
That is way cool.
Can't do it in the summer, but
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when Central High School and Smyrna High School, we didn't normally get together.
Yeah.
So what have we missed?
I think we've hit the main things. Really just letting people know about us, and it's really great to be able to speak on that, because a lot of times people are like, what's the Boys and Girls Club? Oh, I think it's just like the YMCA, and I like to be able to speak on what we do specifically and about our program, and just the impact that we're able to make on the day-to-day, because it is so much more than letting them just come in and watching them, or them just running around, and
Exactly.
just being able to tell those stories. And if you ask any person who's worked in the clubs for longer than 90 days, they have an impact story to tell you, to say, this I will never forget, or this kid will never forget. And now I actually have, they're not kids anymore, but kids who are my club kids who are coming to work for the clubs now. And so being able to see just that growth within the club, and just see like, and it's so weird because I'm like, you used to be my kid.
Yeah.
And now
yeah.
I'm telling you what to do, but in a different way.
Yeah.
And so just really just seeing the club. So yeah, just an amazing opportunity. And I definitely encourage all families to go ahead and register their children.
Good
God
deal.
bless you with
Thank
the
you.
effort with our children.
Yeah,
Thanks for
Chelsea,
having
thank
me.
you so much for being with us. And again, July 26th is Jeff Foxworthy will be here at
16th.
MG. 16th.
Yep.
That's right. 16th. Jeff Foxworthy will be at MTSU. You
Yeah.
can go on to y'all's Girls and Boys Club website.
Comes right on the homepage when you pull it up.
Buy your table and invite Wayne and I, and we'll be glad to be there with y'all. But,
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody, I hope you'll have a safe week, and please, again, just keep Dr. Sullivan and his family in your prayers over this next week. And
Amen.
we'll be back with you next week as usual, and hope y'all be safe out there.